Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Salespedia's second series, Selling Digital Products from Scratch. This is a brand new platform for you to learn and share the best practice and valuable experience about sales. And I'm Jeremy Yu from Hong Kong HR, responsible for Asia talent development and training. I'm also your host today for this learning talk. In the next 45 minutes, you are going to receive a very comprehensive approach to conduct an effective selling journey on digital products. Without any past successful evidence, we all struggle how to sell our digital products to clients. No matter how many sales calls you have dialed, how many proposals you have made, or how many clients you have pitched, we're still finding the best fit to close a deal. So practice makes perfect. We could learn and grow from experience. Our colleague, Holly Yang, is one of the good examples, making so many efforts to drive digital sales. So today I'm very happy to invite Holly as our guest speaker to share with you a 5-step strategies approach to sell digital products from scratch. So hi, Holly, hope you are very good today. Before we start, could you please give us a short introduction about your background and your role in informal markets Asia?
Yeah, I think around 2017, I joined in before it's called UBM. So as a BFM sales and account manager to work in Maritech China in Maritech China show in Shanghai. And then I left the company and then I rejoined the company around a year ago and then joined digital sales in DBAA team. And of course, everyone will hear about, especially in Hong Kong office, about Startup Play. And then before that, actually, I have a 10 years consultative solution selling experience in legal informations, in trend focus informations, and also sponsorship, which is focused on the media agency and also financial conference like the PE sector and in China and Asia's focus.
Yeah. Thank you, Holly. You had a very long and fruitful career journey here. So from selling booth to selling digitals, what are the main difference between these two experiences?
There's quite a lot difference that for selling the booth and selling digital. So I also have a compressed table here, so you can see lots of the key point that I also from my experience for selling the booth and selling digital. So first of all, for selling the booth, it should be more on product selling. So it just focus on SQM, square meters, and also have some non-square meter sponsorship. And then for the selling digital, it should be more complicated. And then I think it is not only the product selling, it will be more focused on the value and then what kind of product that we offer. So you can see on the point 2 will be more complicated and then mix the product items with the EDM, digital product showrooms, Google ads that our team that are getting promoted, lots of the Google ad, and also webinars, and then if you have a digital week, we also have have different kind of campaign that we offer to our client as well. So actually, customer before when we sell in the booth, customer is very familiar with our core strength of this business is about exhibitions. So all on the square meter, on the spacing, and then the on-site services. But for digital, actually, it's not really focused on SQM. So the customer needs is more diversified. So for example, they may need a whole year campaign for marketing purpose. And then on the other hand, maybe, of course, they have a lot of hot leads generations and as well. And then on the other hand, maybe the fulfillment process is so different. So for example, for the selling booth, actually you are focused on maybe they just signed the contract and then you get them on OEM to fill in all the information. And then you have more kind of service things before the show and on site, right? But actually for selling digital as a comprehensive digital packages, right now, actually you need to follow up on the whole fulfillment process, including how we can fulfill, before that how we propose, and then after that maybe a reporting and follow-up questions. So that's a kind of quite different from book selling and also selling digital at the moment.
All right. So it's a totally different story when we sell digital products. So as a sales, you have to be more proactive than ever before. We need to provide more insights or total solutions to fulfill the client needs. Even your clients may not have, might not be aware of the needs to promote a product and service online. We need to create the desires and influence your clients to make changes. And all right, it's not easy to conduct digital selling without past successful cases, as we all know. So how do we start it from the scratch?
I think identify. So I think there are 5 steps. So first of all is identify, and then we will do some research before the conversation, maybe in the meeting, maybe on the call, and then after knowing our customer needs, and then we will provide solutions. And after solution will be, yeah, of course, persuade them to close with if there's maybe they have some objections, how we handle the objections, and then it's another cycle to identify again. So actually, I also want to bring one more point is for the selling the booth, maybe it's just one off. So maybe, for example, one of the exhibitions, they may be like hold once in a year. If the clients doesn't participate this year, actually the next selling cycle will be next year, right? But for like selling digital, actually it's not. So it's just like a cycle keep going, like 2 months and then 3 months, and then you go back to client again. So this is how we call the selling cycle. So this is more on identification. So of course there are like few aspects for sales to identify which kind of product that we can offer. So if we need to work with our internal team, our marketing team, even if they have our data analysis, we also need to have that. And then of course our client base. So basically we'll be more on existing client, which is from AM role, and then on the new business. So new business may be like the new clients, or even though the lost clients that may lapse clients. And then of course we also need to identify the limitation, like time frame. Is it a good time that the time range will be good to deliver? And then maybe internal resources and data limitations as well. Yeah, and then I want to share more about how to identify the opportunity. As I know, as an account manager in like informal markets, actually we hold around hundreds or even 200, 300 clients. Even though some of the like national pavilion group, which is we see them is a big client. So actually I will have some segmentations before I approach them on digital, because I need to study what kind of sizing of the business they have. Maybe national group, they have divided into small group or big group, or even though if for the company they're SME or they are like large corporate, we also need to identify. And then secondly will be more on the what kind of products they buy before. So for example, they're only focused on booth, or they also have a non-booth interest before. And then the third thing is about, of course, I know all of sales is have a very good relationship with our clients. So actually I will diversify and then by segmentation of these 3 types of clients. And then I would decide what's planning on the conversations in different group, or even that make our pipeline is adjustable and flexible and have a flexibility, because that on and off, actually the client's needs is basically almost all the same. So especially for exhibitions industry, they need leads generations, and then they need ROI. So basically it's over all that. So actually by the identification on the opportunity, you can have a like 3 or to 5 segmentations, and then you can have direct message to those groups. And then of course, I just have one like tips that I won't go for the coldest relationship, have a relationship for them first. Maybe I go to second tier or third tier to test the market, and then I will go back to the most client that I'm very familiar with, because we need to test the waterhouse, what kind of product that the industry fit in, and then to get, which is I think is more secure, that I have a confidence to pitch our closest clients as well.
It just sounds like you taste the water first and go back to the very important client base to try. So analyzing your customer portfolio comprehensively will help you have a clear pictures, or even get a better sales focus on digitals. So the more you plan, the more likely you could make a successful deal. Well, according to the 5-step, right? The 5-step approach, research is so important before we pitch to client. So when you do research, how would you appraise whether the company is digitalized or not?
Okay, so we're in digital world. So actually, I will go for Google search. Yeah, I will search for the name, for the company name, and then have a like few kind of the points that I will focus on. So I will have some example to show you later on, but I will more focus on the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So maybe the employee and see whether they have a marketing team or digital team right now,
Yeah.
or even check their webpage, what's their latest update of their web, because then they like a date over there, or even though they have website, but it's just like very simple one.
Yeah.
So that will be give more insight for you to prepare the questions before the meeting.
Yeah.
And then of course, do they have the content, maybe like a video content in YouTube, in Vimeo, or even in Facebook, Instagram? Is this update frequently? We also have a more insight on digitalized enough or not. And then on the other hand, yeah, are they investing on Google advertising?
Yeah.
If they are doing it, actually they are going to prospect. One is going to the third-party agency, and then so it implies that they're already spending the money on there.
Yeah.
And then on the second hand, maybe they have an in-house digital person to help them to do the investment.
Yeah.
So this is also as indication that they have budget on in digital.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, will be company webpage, checking the other, they have like the social media, or even though they for Salespedia, for example, they have a marketplace they are using, maybe in Tmall, maybe in Amazon, or even though etc. like the marketplace platform.
Yeah.
So and then also of course the update news. So no matter it's the financial report, even I will go to the stock market and then see the trends. Is it good shape?
Okay. Can you walk through us some examples?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I just picked a few examples from the previous time, because from I think starting from COVID-19, even from last year, I already start to talking with different clients. So for example, in this slide, you can see I just go for the LinkedIn profile, and then for the left-hand side, you can see the global food partner. Actually, they already signed up the webinar in March.
Okay.
Yeah, before Salespedia launch. Yeah, but you can see when I prepare the conversation on the call, I already have some indications about their company sizing, and then what kind of the service that this company to provide. So actually you can see the main target I talked with the first person is called Dawn. So actually she is the one of the marketing people who in charge the whole project in ASEAN. So that you can plan ahead when you're doing conversation, you can ask the team size, is there any people to help her, and then what kind of the core message or marketing campaign they are going to roll out, because of the in March actually is many places still locked down or even start to lock down. So that is their pain point and how we can help in this point. And then on the right hand side you can see Silica. So Silica actually is a Germany manufacturing base. It's really traditional. So actually they don't have much like resources on digital. As you can see in the right hand side, you can see the followers is only 173. But again, they are promoting their own webinar. So it's quite interesting, because these two slides is actually I also copy and pasted last Friday. So you think that for manufacturing side, actually they are actively to do this kind of like digital webinar or even the EDM to approach their client, existing, no matter existing one or they want to find a new one. So at this point you can see they have manufacturing, and then they are asking for help right now. And then of course this is from the Germany company, but our contact person is a regional in Singapore. So you can see if the Singapore regional office they want to ask for the budget, actually it will go to HQ. So it will be based in Germany. So if we know about the relationship, or we already have an indication that or implications that is that Singapore office need to go through the HQ to ask for the extra budget on the current situation, then what's the pain point from the regional office? So this is also kind of like strategy when you're planning ahead on the conversation that you need to ask or have a communication with them during their meeting and call.
What's more?
Yeah, and then next will be web page. So is it more direct? I can say. So web page actually you can see lots of the information. Are they on any social media, any updating news? Even though the site is this update. So from the left hand side is the latest update. You can see global food partners they update in 2020. So it is really update one. But I think you can go like to search global food partner. Actually, they only have few pages on website.
Okay.
So they can't disclose their like successful cases or like partner right now. So this is also one of the questions that I also ask in the meeting, because this is really maybe they have signing FDA or like mutual agreement why they can't disclose. So basically it's about the service, right? And then the right hand side you can think, I think most of the Hong Kong colleagues heard about it is a green comment. And then they do lots of the CSR, they have initiative on the Green Monday. And then this is more to C focus as you can see the different kind of prospect. And then you can see from their website, they're really clear layout. And then they also very heavily promote CSR. So this is also you can have a different kind of questions in your mind that maybe during the call, what questions that you need to ask.
Moving on.
Also the web page. So I just mentioned about Silico is a really quite interesting company. So you can see the news and updates over there, and then you can see the update. I think monthly they have a webinar right now for to educating their constructor or even though to their different partner all around the world. So this is I think one of the point that from the German team, maybe the HQ, they are planning to doing ahead, but how to apply to the regional office, which is we are talking with the regional office. So this is also can help you to persuade your client during the call, which is the regional office rather than the headquarters.
Okay. So I know you have few slides about the hints.
One by one. So the first one that on the left hand side is the green comment who placed on LinkedIn, and then you can see that the follower is less than 1,000.
Okay.
And then you all know about that is LinkedIn is more related B2B. And from that perspective, like SellerPlay, we do lots of the research, and then we find that B2B buyer actually very active on LinkedIn. So in this piece, so you can see we can see some of the comparison right now. So at the middle, in the middle, you can see the Instagram is around 20K right now, more to C focus, as I know. And then on the right hand side, you can see more on the Facebook. So Facebook, they have really good initiative, and they are around 45,000 right now at the moment. And it's really huge. They have really good marketing in B2C markets. And then I think they have one more that will be on YouTube. So YouTube, they have many content as well. So you can think about they spend a lot on the video content, but they're more on B2C focus. But what informal markets or even in food and hotel industry can help them right now, from our perspective, is we are using the B2B data because that's why they participate to our show. So they have more focus. They need to focus more on B2B, and then you have many rooms that help them to grow. So before the meeting, I already have some indication to prepare what kind of questions. So for example, for the cases of green comment, so before that I know about those numbers, and then maybe I ask them what's the database in B2B, because we know that the B2C they really good enough to promote, because even though in Hong Kong they use celebrities as well, and then just for sharing, actually celebrities is one of the key stakeholders. So that's why. So in during the call, actually you can also have different kind of aspect, because you have already have those indications in your mind, and then to let them know, we are really want to help on B2B side, as we have we can help you to find the manufacturers, we can help you to find the restaurant, etc. So this is all distributor, because most of the trade show we are finding the brands to distributor relationship. So this is also our advantage when we talk to the clients.
You can show your professionalism. Especially you know the pain points already. So that means we have to do research with purpose. We cannot simply go to Google,
Yeah.
only have a glance their company or news updates. That's not enough. We
Yeah.
need to analyze their competency of digital team,
Yeah.
the readiness and effectiveness of
Yes.
their current digital platform, and also some sales trigger points, as you
Yeah.
said,
And
related
also,
to their
yeah, I
situations.
think also have some one slide on the
Oh, yeah.
campaigns. So because of the Google research,
Yes.
you can see different news about this company.
Yeah.
So before I met Green Common last year, actually they have a new initiative to launch it in China.
Yeah.
So you can see they're expanding in China to C market. They're using Tmall. They're using different kind of like the China marketplace.
Yeah.
So this is also one of the talking points that you talk with the clients.
Yeah.
And of course, Green Common also one of the biggest distributor in the region about Beyond Meat.
Yes.
So I know Beyond Meat already get on stock exchange in US.
Yeah.
So I also maybe the next slide you can see. I also Google on the stock markets how the performance because as just during the conversation I asked about I know Beyond Meat already get on install and it is in really good shape. Is it an M&A? Is it expanding or wherever? So actually clients and me is more keen to share about the current situation. Maybe they have a new product like Omnipod. So Omnipod is their own R&D and also manufacturing to invest. So they own the Omnipod product instead of they distribute the Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
So this is like kind of that from the like different financial report. They doing good shape. Even the current plan of the company is also really good that for us to pitch digital products and even on the marketing service campaign.
Yeah, I tasted before Beyond Meat.
Yeah, right.
It's very cool.
I want to try it out like the spam. Like the Omnipod, the new one.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
Well, other than research, research, you have to be comprehensive with purpose. So other than that, what would you prepare before the meeting?
I have some like stories to share to our clients.
Okay.
So basically like salad play or even though for different kind of like different trade show or different vertical, actually we know some of our buyer perspective. So we know their behavior, we know how they're doing research right now, even though maybe the COVID-19 is more obvious because most of the buyer is going to online to do online sourcing, especially for food and hotel industry. So actually I will share with the client what's the buyer's behavior right now and then what's their interest right now. So just for example, like salad play actually from like after COVID-19 in February, actually lots of the buyers who are from hotel, which is the people think, which our seller think they are very silent because all the hotel is closed down, but actually it's not. Because people is starting to afraid they lose their job. So they're actively finding new product all around the world or new brands or OEM to fit in their business. After the COVID-19, when everything get reborn, and then they can have a new product to present to their boss. So actually this group of like procurement or even sourcing person actually is a kind of like bias behavior, which is our sellers things is totally different, right? So I think this is really interest to our sellers and also suppliers that think from our organizations, informal markets as an organizer, we know our clients better than they are.
Because
so
they don't have the news.
Maybe they just work with your current customer, but how about expand to the new market? So this is also one of the I will prepare for the clients. And then of course some of the trends report, even though I share with the Google, I think in the previous two sharing about salad play, they also have some of the indications on B2B buyer trends. So maybe I can maybe Jeremy can share with them later on as well. And also, of course, before the meeting, I also planning ahead what kind of product that we can provide to offer, and then based on what we can offer, decide the questions before the call.
Okay, sure. So that's why we have to think of the angles from our customers, not only showing our understanding to the buyers ecosystem or their behavior under the social or economical changes, but also putting your empathy. You show lots of empathy on their tough business environment. Then moving to our next question, it's about conversations, the first step of your approach, right? So I know you have given lots of calls to clients. What are their main concerns or interests?
Money.
Only money.
Not really. It's about ROI and then the next generation. I think that I list out some of the key points. So I think every client, no matter where they are from, which vertical, they are about lead generation,
Yeah.
especially the hard time. Actually, new revenue is really key for them. So they will ask about the lead generation, the quality of the leads, because I think for B2B environment, the quality of the leads is really key point for them.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, maybe how to generate the ROI, maybe comparison to show the general ROI or even though the current digital product ROI as well. And then on the third point, maybe how to do it from start to end. Because as I said at the beginning before, when we selling the booth, they know the process. They know they just sign up, 9 square meter, 1800s, and then they get to log in an OEM and then they get support before the show and after and on site. But for digital product, they don't have any concepts about info markets, what we can offer. So actually I will prepare and the roadmap and then the communication on the implementations between the sales and marketing team and the events team. It is because not only for salesperson to know the whole process, actually our clients need to know. So it is not just a one person for like salesperson to pitch the client. Actually, it's a whole team effort that we need to show to the client. We have our expertise. We have our team to support her or him in the business. And then this is talking about the fulfillment process. And at the end, of course, about the cost. Yeah, about the budget.
Everything is about money.
Yes.
So we better well prepare the 5 key concerns, especially demonstrating the ROI and cost simulations before we meet the clients, since most of them are very price sensitive, right? When they come across our new promotion approach so far. By the way, I'm interested, how do you narrow down the client-specific needs during the conversations?
Rather, I think we have a plan to speak to him or we have a plan to propose to him. I think let them to talk more is more important. Because when they talk more, actually you will know more information and then you will know what kind of product or what kind of time frame in the marketing campaign that we can help. So I also said like this is only a few examples that I will prepare for the questions during the call, but most of them is focused on how's going with their current business, any new plan, contingency plan in 2020. Do they have a new product launch this year or already postponed, or they just keep going to rolling out this year? But if they just keeping the rolling out and then with these current situations, most of like the international exhibitor, their brands. So actually they can't come to Asian markets, how they rolling out the new brands or new products. And then maybe the team structure change. Maybe they move some of the team members to do digital, or maybe they move to some members. I hope can't hear any resign or like restructure. I just hope that some of the colleagues maybe shift to the other team. That is happy to think that. And then on the other hand, will be much more on which market they are looking into after the COVID-19. I think each of their industry, they have different like how can I say, different trends or different markets shift. So I think this is really key that we ask our client. I think those questions that are listing out right here, I don't think our clients think it most of the way. So they don't panic and then they are just waiting. And then if you just throw them the question, actually they are happy to discuss with you because you as a consultant or like consultancy approach, because we are offering help them and then we are not selling them anything at the moment, and then we just want to know about their pain point and how we deal with it, and then how we have using different kind of tactics or even campaigns to help with them. So I think they are really open to discuss. Especially I think most of the call, maybe I also have a joint call with Singapore team, joint call with Malaysia team, even Hong Kong team. And I think every client, they have their thoughts, but they don't have like a summary, what kind of should be focused, and then the upcoming objective, what is it? So during the conversation, actually, I will just map it out and then to see what kind of objective is really solid. So when we confirm the objective and then we achieve together, and then you can have the next step to give them a proposal. So to tackle what kind of pain point, and then the pain point what initiate on the revenue or ROI. So this is the main concern with them.
So give them like a whole pictures. So step by step to attain the business goal.
And guide them. I think some client we need some guidance on that.
So as you can see at this moment, a consultative selling approach is very important so that we could identify the client's need accurately on digital products. And the good news is Academy is also going to strengthen our sales questioning skills. So we will conduct several webinars in the coming months. Please stay tuned with us. Okay. Go to the solution stage. I want to know how would you persuade your clients? Any strategies behind?
Yeah, of course, because after the conversation, actually we know our client pain point, and then we also map out the main objective of the upcoming partnership with informal markets. So I will just using that, and then we'll communicate internally. Mostly is communication with the marketing team because of what we can offer, what's the time frame, because we also have a trade show at the moment. So actually that time frame is really key point at this stage. And of course, because of the objective, we also map out what kind of target audience that our client want to target. So actually the digital data, the buyer data is really key that in our offering as well. So after that, actually externally, we will base on what we can provide to do the proposal, and then we'll give them a full picture on the annual year plan. So it's a full year plan, like a whole year plan, maybe plan like maybe from July till 2020 or July till next year in June. So we will also have different kind of like time frame to let the customer know which month that what kind of the marketing service that we can provide, and then why we put the campaign in this month, what the objective or what kind of services that we want to drive. So on the other hand, maybe what we are going to achieve, and then who will be get involved in our team. So basically, if in pipeline is 90% or 80%, and then I will set up a call with the marketing team, and then we all sit together and discuss with the clients. So what kind of topics, maybe holding webinar, what kind of topics that we are going to host, or even though maybe EDM is a really simple EDM to send out, but the EDM need to be very focused, and then what's the design on that, any information that you need to provide, do you have pictures, do you have like company profile, those kind, it also need our marketing team to get involved. So actually at this stage already maybe line up a call with the client, with the marketing team, and then see whether how we can work together. Maybe the content management as well, like the features article. So it's a really maybe interview. So if interview, they have like several like touch points on what kind of questions they want to let the markets know. And then this will be more on how to persuade the client. So not just on the proposal. So there are many follow-up calls. Maybe after you send the proposal, I would suggest that you give them a call and make sure they know the methodology or know about the service, what kind of service that we can provide. And then also discuss about the objective, and then manage their expectation very well. Because I don't think digital solutions we can't overpromise. For example, the ROI, maybe how many leads that we need to drive for this campaign. Maybe a one webinar we we suggest maybe 50 leads we pass to them. So actually it's not an overpromise things, because we check internally, we will make sure to send like 2 to 3 EDM to target audience and then get them registered. So once they was registered, they can get the list already. So make sure it's like 50, or even though you give down a numbers that we can surely to achieve. So this is how that we manage our client expectations as well.
This is very important. That's right. We are not alone. We have to show the clients that We have a very professional team. Like you get involved the marketing team at the very earlier stage to promote the products, how to promote the product, how to promote the service in a very good way, and also you give the confidence to them by showing a very clear roadmap, right, at the timeline. So what we are going to achieve in the coming 3 months, 6 months, or even 2 years. How do we go to the business goals hand in hand? So going to the last step, we all aim to close a deal, right? But what if your client reject your proposed digital solutions? How do you deal with it?
Good questions. I would just cut down a call and then say some bad words first. Because we spend lots of the time with the course, no power language, bad words only. Okay. So actually, I will find, during a call, if they reject us, or even though send us an email that reject, actually I will keen to talk to them on a call and then ask them why, under the underlying reason. Basically, you just expected ROI budget, or even though maybe impacts, or even though they don't have people support, maybe the pricing, etc., etc. Actually, should be a reason. So actually, I will ask the client: is there any reason, or you think our service doesn't fit you, or you are using the other vendor? But I don't think we have a competitive vendor anyway because of the B2B data. So actually, I will just ask them to be nicely, ask them the reason, and then make some reference on. And of course, if they reject you at like maybe today, actually they will come back again. So as I said, it's not a one-off sales pitching. So for example, like I just want to share one more example is at Green Common. So actually, Green Common, I also met them like last year, like in November. So actually, we don't have any like products like seller play itself and then like the marketing service. But I also present to them about our end goal, like the database that we have, what kind of service that we can provide to them. And actually, I disconnect with them around 2 months. Mostly. I think they also come back to me during March. So they just called, the marketing director just called me and then say, hey, Holly, I want your help. Maybe you can help me on some B2B marketing campaign, which is I'm planning to do show. So actually they just come back to me. So first of all, they just reject last year and then they come back to me again. So that's why they signed the deal actually, even though the Salespedia doesn't launch yet at that time. And then of course the market, this is to make a reference on what we are doing with the clients, because we do lots of the EDM campaign before they have some significant numbers that we can drive. And also, if they reject you, actually just leave them there. You have a many prospects in your leads. So just go for the second one and then to try different kind of like conversation way to persuade them. And then of course, if some of the clients you want to build a good relationship with them about digital, actually constantly you can send the current news and trends to them. For example, like I just share about the Google one, which is a B2B buyer behavior. So those kind is our sellers and also our sellers want to know about what they are going into. So I think constantly you can have just send them email like once in a month and then check in with them. And then I think that will come back again because you're already planting the seed in their mind that informal markets already have this kind of service instead of that like before we just doing exhibitions. So I think ongoing many clients will come back. So just planting the seed, I think is the really key. If we get reject, of course sales get rejection every day.
So never assume the reasons of rejection, since it's not about the money, maybe the timing, right? So we have to identify the underlying reasons and see what we could customize to the clients. And more importantly, many clients are still in the observation stage, right? So they will come back to you, as you said, 2 months or 4 months, right? So when they can see a small win from their market players, even more clients will contact you later.
Even though if they find their competitor is doing service on like your marketing service, actually they will come to you.
Yeah.
So why they doing webinar? How much is it? I want to do one. So actually we have some cases right now. So it's just like beyond meat and impossible meat. It's also one of the like yeah, I think it's that competitor doing what and then they want to doing what as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lastly, what would you advise to our fellow sales colleagues to increase their confidence to be a better digital sales?
Mindsetting.
Mindsetting.
Yeah, I think because I also have experience on both sales, and actually we know that our B2B data is really, really good for our customer because they just want to spend money to buy the data.
Yeah.
Buy the context, right?
Yeah.
But we can't, right? So that's why we need to offer different kind of marketing campaign, different kind of marketing solutions to get their audience, the target audience, to get in touch with them, right? So actually we are the trade show organizer, and unless we have a very strong competitor in specific verticals on B2B data, for example, in Hong Kong, I don't think we have another trade show can strongest than jewelry or even though in Cosmoprof. Like otherwise just believe what informal markets or the trade show brand strength. Sellers won't have any hesitation on what we are offering with our like the data or even our expertise in the industry. So the investment should be more higher on ROI. So I think most of the clients maybe they're using the third-party agency, but mostly they are FMCG contacts.
Okay.
So this is really, really key. So you just make sure that you keep your mind that the data and then the service, even though the strength of your brands, that is our clients who buy in on digital products. So otherwise, I don't think we have any competitor in this organization, in different kind of industry. For example, just like Food and Hotel, we have around 24 trade shows in Asia. Can you find any other organizations have this kind of profile?
We are number one already.
Yeah, of course, like those kind of brands that I know lots of the good brands in Asia. Actually, they are really, really well known and also already develop a good connections on that.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think you don't need to hesitate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than mindsetting, what could we equip?
I think they will be more eager to learn the industry movement. So for example, especially I think this year about the COVID-19 pandemic, I think everyone is really, really headache. Some of the regions still locking down.
Yeah.
And then we have lots of the content in overseas exhibitor. Actually, those like Europe countries, even in States, or still have a 30,000 case per day.
Yeah.
And then Beijing, they have more, and then we come again. Yeah. So actually, there are so many uncertainty, and then we need to eager to learn about the industry, how they get involved. So, and then on the other hand, maybe work with the marketing and also event team closely, and then see what kind of products or what kind of service that fit to the industry. And then do not assume that things will be soon very normal. So I just bring up about the current situation actually is no one's know. So I think like past 20 years or past 30 years, no one's know what will happening next. So actually, I think we just keep update, and then I think the buyer's behavior is only one way to change, because right now, actually this situation will become longer, and anyhow, our buyer, even our supplier, they have a new normal to adapt into new market or new environment. So actually, this is really, really key for our buyers and suppliers, that they need to get different kind of like insights. What's happening in the world? What's happening in the brands, distributor, even dealers, wholesalers, and then what kind of thing happen every day. So it is really, really that we need to keep tracking and then change our mindset, that we need to change it fast. So time is limited. So when you have a like implication or you have a one offering today, actually maybe outdated next week or next month already. So this is we need to keep ourselves update and on the trends as well. And then of course industry news that we also need to keep updates. And then the trend reports more on the digital trend reports. So just more tips is about the trend reports. I would just go to Google and then just type in B2B buyers behavior 2020 or pandemic.
Or 2021?
Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I don't think they have 2021 right now, but more on pandemic or post-pandemic. So that will be also one of like good indicators. And then for those reports, like the digital markets reports, those kind, I think I also suggest that you can just type in the Cannes Lions. Actually, Cannes Lions will be happen tomorrow till Friday, and the original is a huge event in the creative industry. So most of the four agency, they will participate in that, and then they will have a new initiative for the marketing purpose. Of course, mostly in digital. So they have a like free 4 days webinar in coming to 4 days. So you just register in that, and then just pick some of the interesting webinar or sections that you want to participate. Just like leisure. So I think that you will get more insights from there.
Not leisure, it's like a webinar marathon. 4 days, four full days.
True, it's 4 full days. But I think it's really good that to learn from the industry, especially like Cannes Lions. Actually, they are like an Oscar in marketing agency. So you can get many like Facebook, even TikTok, they sponsor in it, and then they will share the new technology, even though like ByteDance, those kind, they will share the new technology. I think this is really, really good that for salesperson also share this kind of message or information to the clients. So that can build your confidence to overhelp your clients more.
True. So that's why we have to keep updated, no matter your industry or the digital trends. And also we have to stay positive and confident to our market uniqueness and professionalism. And more importantly, we couldn't assume things will resume normal after the pandemic changes. So let's move forward and embrace changes in the digital world. And thank you for your wonderful sharing today, Molly. And so guys, it's your turn. We still so time's up around right 3:15, but we can have 5 minutes to answer the Q&A.
Okay, sure.
So you may feel free to raise any question. 5 minutes Q&A. Let me check. Can we get these presentations on mail? Yep, we could do it. Aileen will send you the presentation file later on. Any other? So far, so good. Okay, what about I ask you a question?
Okay.
If my sole industry or client base a very, very traditional one with little digital exposures, so what would you suggest me to do to persuade them to go digital?
Okay, I think that will back to the identifications on your portfolio. I think all the industry, they have like technical or even tech company. I think you should go for them first, and then they must know about the trends, or they must know about how their service to help the clients. And then actually it's a servicing or consultancy. So that is more easy for them to partner with you on webinar, and then let the industry know what kind of the service they can provide. So this is one of the first like kind of client that I would go into on the technical company, or they're doing consultancy or servicing. And then I will also segment the portfolio into the second generation or third generation. So that is more easier for us to persuade them the new digital products or upcoming trends. They also have more, because everyone get on mobile. So I think the second generation or third generation, definitely you need to go after the tech company. And then I think there are many already in your portfolio. So I think by segmentations, you need to think about what's going in that specific segmentations and what we can offer to that segmentations. For tech and servicing, those kind really basic webinar. They want to let the industry know what kind of product they or what kind of service they're providing.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is more directly.
So don't make it like rocket science. Just let them easier understand
Yes.
what we are going to do.
Yes.
Just
so
another approach to do the similar things.
yes, because by the experience when you have 1 or 2 clients or 3 clients already do the webinar, actually the industry will know what you are going to offer, and then what kind of like structure that you can help them in different kind of campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So question, right? Let me check. My experience or not. Jennifer from or
No, budget for the selling.
I can't see, sorry. Can you show me? A published one. Okay, I got it. Published one. Okay, from Amintiva. Digital product sellings happen through consultative approach, so would consume more time to close deal. Yeah, of course,
Yes.
compared to the conventional one. So how do you trade off between two? How do you trade off between two?
Good questions. So basically, yes, of course, consultative on like digital products is needs more time that persuade to the clients, and then I also think that if you are selling the booth at the same time, actually when you're selling the booth, actually you need to package with the digital product already. So don't wait any like maybe you just close the booth first and then ask them again another budget on digital. I think you need as a total solutions that I said is you can pack the booth, like the exhibition booth, into the packages with digital offering. So no matter after the show or maybe before the show, you can have a different campaign, and then after the show, like a certain period of time, actually you have a different kind of digital product that can help to them for like lead generations and also help them like product launch those kind. So I think you should package it together instead of like you just go for the booth first or you just go for the like digital service first. You just package it together.
Yeah.
And then let the marketing person or even though the boss to think about the whole picture and then ask for like only one time to ask for the budget instead of they need to go for the budget again after the booth confirmations.
Yeah.
So I think that will be really, really key, that package it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like total solutions.
Yes.
Oh, another question from Jennifer. Her experience is the Chinese are not interested in virtual trade show in general. So is it the same for other industry? So for observations.
Good questions. So actually, for the Chinese company, they are more open to the webinar. So I think basically for the Chinese company, I think most of the big company, maybe like big group, are from the government. So I think Chinese, they have a different kind of point of view on virtual events. So you can just imagine like if like a group from government in maybe Shenzhen, Shenzhen like ABC associations, they help the food and hotel industry. Actually from the webinar at the beginning, actually you need to give them a speech. So just like an opening like 10 minutes and then you can just go ahead on the content that they want to provide. So I think different like region or even though in China company or even though in ASEAN company, I think they have a different mentality on to visualize what kind of virtual events that they want. But basically, right now, for example, like Salespedia, we do lots of the webinar. So we pack them in a digital week to get like some sponsorship offering. And then on the other side, if they are not fit into the target audience group, we will just separate it in individual webinar. So that will be kind of like different kind of clients they need. So that's why I at the beginning of this sharing that I share about digital products should be very flexible. Should have many flexibility for our clients to choose. So you can just communicate with them what objective or what kind of like features that they want.
Yeah.
So that's why, because based on the China clients, of course, the ongoing Canton Fair,
Yeah.
I have a lots of the comment is not that good at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's why I think most of the Chinese companies see the virtual meeting is not fit. But that's why webinar why we have a showroom, why we have like software like a marketplace. That's why for our buyers going to dare to search. Even though we partner with Google, even a different kind of vertical, you can use the Google as a tactics, because even though the buyer from the Canton Fair already shared with us why I need to log using our personal ID and personal picture to register, and then go to the different feature and then I can meet. So why I just go for the Google doing search or even Baidu in China. So I think this is one of that the flexibility that we need to provide to our client when we are talking about different kind of digital solutions.
Yeah, all right. So last question from Manfred. He want to know how can he find whether the company invests in Google ad or not.
You just Google search and then search their company name. And then if they are invest on the Google investment, actually they have on the top priority. And then I think next to the company name or webpage name, there's this called AD. AD means advertising.
A small icon.
Small icon AD. Or even though you can go YouTube and then search a company or even the products, if it's brands, actually they also have like AD. So actually it's an advertising. So it means that they already get on the investment already. So it's really easy to track. And if I just have a tips, if they have the Google investment already, you can just directly ask them how much they spend on that.
Yeah.
And then the conversion rate.
They can't know by just random search, right? They can't estimate.
The amount?
Yeah, the amount.
The amount cannot. You just ask them directly. Maybe ask them, is it effective? Any conversion rate? Any successful case? If they have a Google advertising, or they invest by themselves, or they're using the third-party agencies. Okay. So if you indicate they have that investment already, actually you just go directly to have some questions on that. So that will pick us in contact.
Okay. So one more, the last one. Sorry about that. From I don't know who is she or who is it? Yeah, anonymous. Our colleague's client product is OEM. So which digital product is more suitable for them? OEM is like a manufacturing one.
Okay, manufacturing. Actually, it depends on which vertical. For example, I used the food and hotel industry. So like many food manufacturing at the moment, I think they are finding different rate. Before, they will go for distributor and dealers or wholesaler to help them to sell the products, right? But actually, some of the manufacturing already told me that they may want to adapt into the end user. So for food and hospitality, in that case, that will be directly goes to the restaurant, cafes, and hotels. So they want to do more on direct selling. So this is one of the approach that maybe the data or your prospect, even though in your data you have that kind of like data to help them already. And then on the other hand, if they're doing OEM, like OEM, actually most of them, they have a different kind of small products, and then just ask them which kind of focus. Because of lots of the manufacturing, OEM manufacturing, they have lots of products. They don't know which kind of like target or group they want to have the revenue from. So I think from the questions that you discuss with them, you just ask them about maybe what's their key revenue right now, and then they want to find new customer in that area, or the upcoming new products, or even though the renovate new product, are they tap into different kind of target group? So this is also one of the way that you can like discuss with them, instead of, hey, I just do OEM, I do most of the like maybe packaging. I do most of the packaging. I not just focus on food or focus on cosmetic, those kind, but you just like narrow down their needs, and then see what's the biggest potential that for them to drive revenue. Yeah. So I think that will be more on the questions that you prepare before the conversations. Yeah. So I think most of the OEM manufacturing, they have the same thoughts. because they think I have so many products, what I can go for. So you just, maybe you can check your data. If the data is most of the one of the segmentation, you have a very strong portfolio, you can just recommend to them.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a key or it's a new way that persuade them to have the service with us.
Yeah, all right. It's so full throw today, so we overtime around 15 minutes. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for sharing, Holly, and thank you so much for your time. You can go to the Academy portal page and then to see the recording. And if you have any idea or feedback to our webinar Salespedia, you can feel free to raise it. We will send you the email with the evaluation form. So see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.